Hey there guys, and welcome back to another Vtuber reading of the Monster Girl Encyclopedia, because I honestly felt like it and I want to get past the ocean monster girls, if you know what I mean. Considering the last one, you know? Horrifying if you're a guy, by the way. Unless you're into that sort of stuff, I would assume. Anyway, horrific stuff aside, the monster girl we will be reading about today is called the Flow Kelp. I mean, kelp has never looked so good, am I right? But I'm gonna regret those words, I feel like, in a minute. Anyway, Flow Kelp, family Mandragora, type plant, cause it wasn't obvious enough. Habitat, the ocean. Nature, peaceful and gloomy. Huh. Again, I have a feeling that that one remark that I made earlier, I'm gonna regret it. Diet, sunlight, photosynthesis, and the essence of human men. Because again, plant and a monster girl in the Monster Girl Encyclopedia, that's why. The flow kelp is a plant monster that that grows leaves or leafy bodies all over its body, or leafy blades, sorry, all over its body, like seaweed. Flow kelp have quite temperament, have quite quiet temperaments, as one would expect judging by the appearance, and exude a dark, damp aura. They can usually be found living motionless on the ocean floor, with their bodies billowing in the water. Once in a while, however, a current will lift a flow kelp when hit, or what will lift a flow kelp though the sea or through the sea until she is cast ashore by the waves, or hauled onto land in fishermen's nets. Because flow kelp rarely move, one might assume that they are tame monsters. However, when a flow kelp nears a human man, she throws herself upon him with adept aggression, I think that's supposed to say. Anyway, and entangles his whole body in her blades, which have a unique stickiness that makes extracting oneself very difficult. The flow kelp moves closer to her prey and makes sticky love to him. I mean, I gotta say, so far I am not really all that regretting my first choice of words there so far. The sensations of her mouth and private parts, not gonna say the actual word there, but you can guess it, are as adhesive as her blades. Ouch. Once she has her mouth over the man's eggplant, it envelops him insecure. Oh, god damn it. English not my first language here, guys. Sorry for the pause. Inescapably, sorry. I had to run that through my head for a bit, cause again, English ain't exactly my first language, so fucking up here and there is gonna happen for certain stuff. Sorry for Texans, me making that accent. A bad one at that, I think. Each time she moves her hips, pleasure prods him with a dull, gloomy sound, and when he releases his essence, she engulfs it deeper within her. Alright, I didn't need that mental image. This, however, is but a small illustration of the way she clings to her new husband. I mean, there's no real illustration there, but sure. Body and soul, even in daily life, she wraps her blades around him constantly, bringing their bodies as close together as possible. Alright, that's some noise in the back. That's some noise outside. Sorry about that. She closes the distance between them as if putting roots down, and many husbands end up living their lives with the kelp ever in their arms. Is it wrong of me to think that that's kind of romantic? Although having a member constantly inside of a woman, probably not going to be the best of positions to be in. Or on their backs. Though kelp are not particularly vocal about their feelings, they are quite needy for attention. A kelp will stare at her husband with dark eyes always wet with lust for him. If he ignores this for long, the kelp is likely to hang onto him while rubbing her body against his over and over again, begging him for well, as you would probably hear in a certain type of massage parlor, a happy end. Wink wink. Which with squealing sounds, kelp's bodies expand upon absorbing moisture. Their blades breasts sorry, my brain is having a 404 here. Their blades, breast, Botox, and other buttocks. Oh, god damn it! Again, my brain 404'd there. And other regions all swell into voluptuous form. I mean, for the breasts, it's an improvement, I would say, depending if you're not into that. Taking on a more mature also increases, taking in more moisture also increases the quantity of liquid kelps secrete. they work vigorously to expel this fluid by kissing their husband. The essence, or the excess secretion, also drips also drips incessantly from the genitals in a display of sexual hunger. Their juices become stickier too, making it nigh impossible to escape a flokelp's embrace if one is in the ocean and caught by a flokelp in such a state. Now I just imagine me being dragged down by a flokelp into the ocean while staring at her very horny face. Again, where's the downside? Still not regretting it, although she is going to be permanent. So far, the only negative is actually going to be that she is permanently attached to you at one of 2 points. Anyway, the chance of averting a sexual encounter is non-existent. Gee, you think? On the other hand, when flokelps dry out, the lack of moisture shrinks not only their blades, but yeah, it still says blades there, but their whole bodies too, making them slighter in stature. They work intently to restore their moisture by slurping their husband's saliva through kissing. I mean, at that point you're screwing a lolly. Or a lowly. And my brain is on the verge of another 404 here for all that information. By squeezing essence from from his eggplant to wet their bodies because their private parts are likely to wring essence from eggplant in a surprisingly short amount of time. Flokelp's blades are known for their fragrance, alright, which can produce an elegant elegant broth of the most prominent gourmets. Alright? Oh, I get it. So it's like a special cooking ingredient. I'm assuming here, cause otherwise my brain will 404 again. Naturally, the savory blades captivate the flokelp's husbands as well. The man loses themselves licking the flokelps all over, often sucking flavor directly from their blades. However, sucking on them too much may cause one's saliva and essence, again brain 404 there, to become unusually sticky. Upon mixing with the flokelp's saliva and lubricant, uh, a, a particularly Alright, a particularly persistent union may ensue. Alright. Only been reading for 15 minutes so far. But now we're on to the little bit of text that is below the additional artwork, which I actually could have used but as the thumbnail, but you know, I kind of found a nicer one before actually reading, which I normally only look for once I've read about the monster girl, but you know. Also, it's probably gonna be very minute, but in the thumbnail there's gonna be like a watermark, as the editing program that I use decided, oh yeah, we're now adding watermarks to everything, and if you want to get rid of it, you gotta pay money. Also, a lot of their fonts, including the one which I normally use, have been put on premium, so this video's thumbnail has a different font. Anyway, the image above depicts the same flow kelp on the left. She is swelled with moisture. On the right, she has shrunk from lack of it. In either case, however, she is likely to aggressively press a man for a happy end. Alright. I mean, honestly, it kind of beats cancer from the last part. Cause, yeah, with those giant scissors delicately holding my member. Yikes. That would be horrifying for me, actually, to witness. But it would ensure me not escaping, for one. Cause, yeah, I think if I punched her or tried to get away, she would, close those pincers. And I'd like to keep my family jewels, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that'll be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream of whatever I'll be making or streaming. Also, just to repeat it, the watermark is probably gonna be like really tiny in the bottom right corner somewhere, but you probably shouldn't be able to see it when I use it actually as the thumbnail, unless they decide to move that watermark at some point into the middle of the screen and make it massive, because then at that point I would look for another editing program for that. Anyway, for that little rant, bye!